Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible to all of you guys. Can you give a quick thumbs up? I hope I'm audible. Give a quick thumbs up, guys. Great, great, great. I can see thumbs ups over here. Welcome to all of you. We are going to start the session. Welcome to everyone who has joined from across platforms, from different platforms. I hope you are feeling energized and ready to make your weekend count, right? I'm sure today's session could very well be your opportunity to get your doubts answered for the career in the field of software engineering, career in the field of web development. So it's genuinely inspiring to see so many ambitious individuals who are ready to explore a future in the software engineering, a domain that powers every modern company, right? I In the session itself, it is mentioned that build a solid career and join the backbone of tech. Why it is called as backbone of tech? Because this is the domain that powers every modern company and continues to evolve with new frameworks, right, architectures and innovations in this field. I am Alok Anand. I will be your host. I will be your host for today. Today's masterclass. Over the last 8+ years of experience, I have worked closely with thousands of learners, helping them break into the field of tech roles, be it data science, be it software engineer, all the tech roles which we are talking about, build real world skills and achieve their career goals. I myself have has the experience of almost 7 to 8 years in the field of machine learning engineering, in the field of backend development. So I will be here sharing my experience as well throughout this journey, that how you should start, how you should take it forward, and what all steps you should be taking so that you stand out when you go and appear for interviews or even when you are applying for jobs. So let me assure you, if you are feeling unsure about where to begin, whether this path is right for you, that's completely normal. When you start your journey in any career, it's going to be same, where you have lot of questions whether this field is going to be right, whether this field is going to be something which you can manage. That's why these sessions we conduct, so that you get your doubts cleared, you get your mind straight and focus on something which will give you the result at the end. So journey to become a software engineer often starts with question but ends with clarity, confidence, and the kind of job offers you once thought were out of reach, you will be able to feel confident to appear for those. Today, I'm excited to join by Mr. Rashid, one of our alumni, and now a full stack developer at Impelox Tech. He's going to share what the journey looks like from the inside. He's going to talk about how he started, what worked for him, what did not work for him, what truly matters when you are starting from scratch and aiming to land that first job in software development. So, whether you are switching careers, starting fresh, or somewhere in between, this session is going to be helpful for you. This session is going to be something which will help you take your decision forward and make your first step as in you get clarity in your mind. Great. So, we will be talking about the opportunity. We will be talking about the roadmap to become a software engineer in 6 to 8 months. How do you take it forward? The skills you will need to know, how companies actually hire, right? The skill set, what companies they require, and again, how to stand out. At the end, what all skills you have got, you have to present it to company during the interview. We'll talk about those things as and we move forward in this particular session. Okay, so stay with us till the end. We are going to simplify the path from learning to getting hired. Let's dive in and decode what it truly takes to build a solid career in software engineering and become part of the backbone of modern tech. All right. So now let's begin our discussion. The first discussion is about the opportunity. If you are looking forward to get into this field, the first and foremost thing which you should think about the opportunity, and on top of it, what software engineers they actually do, right? So for that, I would like to welcome our alumni on stage, Mr. Rashid, and he will be talking about his journey. He will be talking about what he is doing currently and what he has been, working in terms of tools and skills. And there we are going to talk about other things further. Okay. So, hey, Rashid, hello. I hope you are able to hear me.
Uh, yes, yes.
Thank you so much for joining, Rashid. Thank you so much for taking out of your time on weekends. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. It's going good, sir. Thank you, sir, for having me here. And yeah, currently, as a full stack developer, I'm working in a Impulse Tech Private Limited, and Impulse Tech Private Limited. Now, I'm working in a production support in current company. So, as a full stack developer, so my journey started like after my graduation. I don't came from a coding background,
Mhm.
and I graduated as a electrical engineer, and after that I joined AlmaBetter as a full stack internship program, where I started from Mon Stack. It's actually new for me. I don't know what is JavaScript, what is any tech. I don't know. From there itself, I started my journey, and I follow the curriculum what AlmaBetter has suggested. I just follow line by line, and I at the end I got a land a good job in Employex Tech Private Limited. Yes, sir.
Great, great. So, Rashid, here, before we even get into, let's say, what was the curriculum and how did you start, right? We will get into that little bit more deeply later. But first, I want everyone here, they want to understand that if anybody is talking about, let's say, software engineer or web developer, right? And you being a full stack developer, right? What does it mean, right? When you join the company or when what type of projects you work on, what all tools you use, so can you explain that little bit to our learners over here?
Yes, sir. Sir, I started as a means in Elma Better. The tech stack which I learned is Monstack. We completely build projects on Monstack. But when I get a job and I came to the company, they are using the tech stack like me tech stack, like Angular they are using instead of React. So it's not an issue like if you are coming with a learning like Monstack, React. So you know the flow how it's working in full stack projects. So it's become easy when you follow the documentation for a particular tech stack, like if you are switching from React to Angular. So you know overall understanding it works similarly to the React only, but the some points are there which is differ in React and Angular. So we can take up with from the documentation. So now I'm going to tell about what actually software engineer does in the company. So basically, first start with the they're building a software systems. Okay, so in that what they are doing, they are designing and developing to uh, maintain an application for solving a real world issues, real world problems we are solving here. Okay, so for that, if your application in Monstack, so you need a programming language like JavaScript. So the next point comes like writing code. So for that we need to pick up language. For example, we are picking JavaScript. After that, it comes to the points like solving problems. So solving problems, how we can do? We can break into smaller parts break into smaller parts where we can think about the logic, or we can make use of algorithms to find a solution for this particular problem. Okay. After that, the point comes in collaboration in the team. So the team which you are going to join, it's not only the team of developers. There will be a tester. There will be a product manager. There will be a designer. So you need to collaborate with everyone so that we can
Yeah.
come up with a good solution of a product, right? Next is ensure quality. Like we need to have a best practices. Like as a coder, if you are dreaming to become a coder, so you are you have to design a code in such a way that you don't need to write hard coded as much as you
Mm.
need to come up with a configurable. How much configurable you make a code, how much less code you can write for a particular problem. So that stand out as a good developer in the sense of if you think about.
Correct,
So
correct.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So very well mentioned, actually, Rashid. You have touched upon the key pointers, which actually we talk about how do you stand out, right? you have to collaborate with the teams, you have to understand the ecosystem of tech. It's not just one person who will develop everything. There will be multiple different person at different places. There will be more developers like you, right, Rashid, in your team, and they will be working on the application in different parts. How do you collaborate? All those things actually make you a better coder. And what you mentioned very clearly was modularity, right? You have to
Yes.
think from a perspective that your codes are modular. How do you ensure that the code which you are pushing, one more thing is, after your code, somebody is going to look at whether they will be able to understand or not, right? It should be simple to understand. It should be something which is fitting in the overall, because it's not like everything you will write from scratch. There will be already codes written, there will be some feature enhancement, there will be something addition which you will do, and that's what your daily job becomes, right? Rasid, please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. So after following this kind of points, so that's we come up as a we can make our software as a user friendly software where we can fix the bugs. Okay, we can check the flow, whatever flows we have in the our application is performing correctly or not. So this kind of thing. Now the next point I have discussed like what actually we are doing in the company, how software engineers works or what actually we are doing. So actually we are working in on a agile methodology where for particular task, like task is allocated for a particular person. So in that case, what happens? First, we need to gather information about the particular task, like what actually we need to do, what is the business perspective about this, and we need to think about the long term. If we are going to develop something, what it will be the impact in the long term. We don't need to do temporary change. We need to think of in a long term perspective. Okay. Second is Second, we are thinking about like planning and designing. Like first, we need to plan an architect. We need to plan data models and documentation about the task. Then before jumping to the code, first we need to make a documentation on what actually we are going to proceed. Okay. Then comes the develop features in the sense building the like writing the building the features, implementing the applications using API integration, connecting database with that, and this comes in the building features. Now the main part is come test and debug. If we got a particular features to build, but to reach to that feature, we need to come up with a flow. If a flow has a bug, then your feature will not going to see by anyone. So you need to
Mhm.
make sure that you need to follow a process that the flow should be a bug free. So in between, if it is there is a bug, you need to fix that. So that is
Correct.
common set test and debug. After that, once the flow is correct, then we need to go for deployment. Then the it will code will be pushed and the senior developer will going to review and merge your PR pull request, and after that it will come to the deployment. Once it deployed, again the testing will be happen, and it will come to the live URL. So how it works.
Great, great. Lot of terms you have used over here, which I will, for everybody, I will break it down, right, during the session itself. Like you mentioned about agile methodologies, right? You use certain softwares for that. I believe you must be using like Zira, or there are other softwares also which people generally use, right? For debugging, generally you do it by yourself. You write test cases. Also, you use Sentry for logging the errors and looking at the performance of your code. Then you have other things like you deploy it. You use GitHub for GitHub Actions, CI/CD, Jenkins. Lot of different things are there. You have to be comfortable with learning new things, which I want to emphasize again, right? Which you mentioned, Rasid. Like earlier, also you have learned React. Now you had to learn Angular. You were comfortable because you know the fundamental of things, and that is the very important thing, that it's not about, in tech people think about learning tools, I have learned everything. It's not about that. It's about learning the core understanding around it, which is like solving the problem statement, what I am trying to do. There might be different tools coming in the future also, but you should be comfortable around what I am trying to solve. That clarity should happen, right? And that clarity must be there in your mind and overall team when you are talking to. Great, Rashid. Thank you for sharing your understanding over here, sharing your journey. Now we will again come back. We'll talk. We will go a little bit deeper into the stacks and tools and how, if somebody is thinking to start new, then how they should be picking it up. We will come to that in just some time. Now, thank you so much, Rashid. Thank you so much. We will again begin with the uh, here presentation. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. So you have heard from Rashid how this whole ecosystem works, right? Lot of terms, lot of things you might have heard, you might not be aware about those. But it's all about, as I mentioned, when you start this, you will have lot of questions. But as in you go forward, you will understand that okay, these things, this is where it fit in, and this is what the ecosystem of tech is. And I'm always going to be mentioning this multiple times that you need to understand the ecosystem of tech to become a tech person, be it developer, be it any uh, person who is part of a tech team. You need to understand the ecosystem of it. Let me share my screen again, and we will continue with taking it further, and we'll try to give the understanding further on top of what do we see as developers and what do they do, right? So you have heard from Rasid that he has talked about data modeling, also data management. He has talked about automation and efficiency. He has talked about deployment. He has talked about the experience and the all the user experience and accessibility which you want to give to the user. The problem statement which you are solving it for somebody, right? You are solving it for somebody who is going to use your product. That's what this whole ecosystem, I would say, in that your work is going to be. If you are a developer, out of these four you will be working at some point of time. Now if I break down each and every point, I'll quickly mention about the first thing, which is called as, let's say, automation and efficiency. How developers, they contribute towards automation, they contribute towards the efficiency. Let's take an example of any one company. Let's say we will take an example of Zomato. All of us, we have seen this, right? We have used it, Zomato, Swiggy, similar kind of platforms. Now let's just think about, there are multiple people, multiple stakeholders involved in, just think about you ordering a food or ordering something from a restaurant and it gets delivered to you. In that journey there are multiple things happening and there are a lot of other things happening in the backend. So if you think from a developer point of view, you will have a app, right, which users are going to use. Now, this is something which you know, right? There is an application which users are using it, but is there it? Is it something which they Zomato only have, or are there something else which you think which will bring in more efficiency? Let's say if you have the app, but just think from the perspective of restaurant, how they will get to know that Alok has ordered something from that particular restaurant? How that restaurant will get to know? So there is another app. This is for users. Now there will be one app for restaurant, app or application. Who will be creating it? Who will be developing it? Developers, full stack developers or front end developers, back end developers. All of them will be part of that particular development. Now, there will be one more app where, if I talk about delivery guys, they should also know. Just think about, if there is nothing or no application present for them, how inefficient that whole process is going to be, that where they want to deliver, whether they have delivered or not, all the, if they need some assistance from the internal team or from the user, they want to chat, you can even chat with your delivery. How that is possible? Because there is a delivery, there is an application for delivery person as well. And this is not it. You will see there is a application for admin also, the internal team of Zomato, and so on and so forth. I might not have full visibility of this, but this is how it works. Every step of the way, you'd like to connect with some application with the tech, where this efficiency will grow, automation will grow. Automatically, that address is shown to a delivery boy. Automatically, what orders restaurant they have to fulfill, they are going to see in their application. This is how this automation and efficiency that is brought in. And it is true for not just Zomato, it is true for any company. Now, as I mentioned, the developers, software engineers, those guys are backbone of tech. Because of this only, in any company, be it AlmaBetter, be it Zomato, be it any company, every process you need some of the applications which will ensure that everything is being tracked, everywhere the information flow is happening in the right manner. Like for us, there is an application for users, for students, there is an application for coach who is going to take your class, there is an application for internal team who is going to let's say schedule your class, there is an application for evaluators who is going to evaluate your project. So that's how it goes. Any developer, they are not going to just work on one small thing, there's a whole ecosystem where they are involved. So that was our first point. If I talk about data management, after automation and efficiency, data management becomes one of the biggest factor, I would say, where wherever data is being stored, I will come to that. I will break down a little bit more so that you guys understand. But just understand this very clearly that whenever you, let's say, if I take the example of Zomato itself, whenever you are ordering something, it is getting stored, it is visible to different stakeholders, your past orders, and like you, there are millions of people, they are ordering from different restaurants. So this data is stored somewhere, starting from your login id and password and everything, and then after that your behavior on application, what do you search, what do you select, how much amount you have paid for past orders, all those information are stored somewhere. That is also something which you need to understand, that how that data is stored, where that data is stored, how that management happens. That's again the second job of developers. They regularly, they are part, this is going to be their part of day to day management of everything around their work. Now, after that, these two things you guys must have understood. After that, we have security and reliability. Now, this is a shared kind of responsibility. Sometimes you have security engineer, cyber security guy who looks at this. There are cloud engineers also. All these are part of development in tech itself. Security and reliability. So whenever somebody is going to store the data in cloud, somewhere this data is stored, how secure that is, whether that system is secure enough that your information is not going to be accessed by some unauthorized person, it will only be accessed by authorized person. So that is also something which you need to kind of understand, you need to make yourself aware about. You cannot download the delivery app and start using it and start getting the data about every delivery guy. It's not going to happen. You need to have your own application submitted over there, then there will be a flow of verification, etc., etc. All of those are being powered by your application itself, and not just there, it's going to be around the cloud platforms where data is stored, how you have set up all the security nuances over there, all those things comes over here, right? So third part is security and reliability. Now last is user experience and accessibility. So it's not just about writing the application or creating the application. It's not just about that. This part is very, very important, which Rashid also mentioned, that solving the problem statement. What do we mean by that? When we are going to say that solving a problem statement, what are we trying to do? Ultimately, I'm trying to ensure that the experience of a stakeholder, it means if I'm looking at a user, what can be done better over there so that the user experience is good. Starting from, let's say you have an app, you have a website, how much time it takes to load, how much time it takes to load the application. It is very big factor that people will be interested, or they will just uninstall it or come out of the website, right? How easily it can be accessed. For delivery guy, how easy that application should be, so that even if that person is not that tech awareness wise, he's not that good, but he will be able to use that application easily. So those are the things comes under the problem statement. You create once, but then after that you keep on solving more and more problem statements to ensure the enhancement of user experience and the accessibility of this. If you want somebody to access, let's say, address of a particular restaurant, he should not figure out where that address is. It should be right there. The important information should be quickly accessible for the delivery guy, or for restaurant, the orders and who ordered it, what order, what config, what comments are there for that order, all those things should be very quickly accessible, very easily accessible, so that they can act on it. So these are the four pillars developers they work on. Now this might look like a very overview of things, but get this very clear, that why and how developers are different from any other field. Let's say if I talk about data science and any other field, that is, these are the four things which you are going to see that people are involved in, developers are involved in: of automation and efficiency, management of data, where data is going to be stored, how data is going to fetched, then security of the system, and user experience and accessibility is something which is going to be a recurring process. They will keep on solving more and more problem statement, first under identifying the problem and then solving the problem statement at the end. Now, let's go to the second part. We will go more little bit deeper into this. We will talk about the terminologies which Rashid mentioned here, what developers they deal with, right? What all things developers they are going to do on a daily basis, right? Earlier we were talking about the responsibilities. Now we will go a little bit deeper. So the first part, as mentioned, application development, right? Application development is something which is done by developers for sure. Management of cloud, you should be comfortable with one of the cloud. Now what cloud is? Cloud is where your data is stored. Cloud which helps the system or the application or the website to be live 24/7. How do you think this particular platform which you are using is live? Somebody manually, they are not doing it. Once it is there, there is one system like your laptop, like your phone, like your iPad or your tablet. It's similar to that, little bit different, where you have some computation, you have some storage, and that particular thing is being rented by big companies. Let's say AWS is from Amazon, Azure is from Microsoft. Those big companies, they have very big data centers, physical data centers, where data is stored. Applications are running for thousands and thousands of companies over there, and that system, it is always live. Recently, just I think 1 week back, I heard one news that Google also provides the cloud platform. They rent it, so you can go there and rent it for hours, rent it for certain services over there. So that system went down, and lot of application that also went down across the world. That's how important it is. These AWS, Azure, these cloud platforms, Google platforms, Google cloud platforms, all these are going to be the platform where everything is present, your application, your data, everything is present over there. Now that is reliable. It's not like that tomorrow they are going to shut it off and every company will go away. They work on that, they invest billions and billions on those systems, so that it is available for all the users all across the world. Then you have APIs and third party integration. So APIs and third party integration, if I talk about, it's all about how do you interact with different systems. How do you get the data from cloud, from AWS for the front end? Let's say when you are here, when you are, what you are seeing here in the chat, you can see that you can read all the things which was posted, let's say 12 minutes ago or half an hour ago. How that is happening? This data is getting stored in cloud, but there is an API which gets the data from that cloud, from that data storage, and show it here. That's what the API is. If I give you an analogy, so let's say if I talk about human body, right? There is one thing which connects everything, and that is your blood vessels. Your blood connects each and every organ all across. Everything functions accordingly based on how your blood flow is, right? That blood flow, blood vessels are nothing but APIs in the world of tech, where data exchange happens. And then at the end, you have DevOps. DevOps, nothing but all the terms like GitHub you might have heard about. How do you ensure that your application has some version? It's never going to be once you have created, that's going to be your final version. You will have you will have to look at, okay, version 1, I have made it live. Now all the developers are working on, let's say, next version. So how that version will be developed, and then later it will be merged with the, or later the application will be updated to version 2. How that management will happen, it's not going to be like it's dependent upon you. There will be one system in between, and that is what the DevOps is: development operations. Now this might be all the term, this might seems like all the terminologies, but let me break it down for you guys to understand it. Okay, so there are certain layers to your tech. Okay, the first layer is, let's say you, if I talk about here, this layer, all the developers are, right? All the developers, there is one developer, there can be multiple different developers, they're working on different platforms, they're working on different applications. Here you have all the developers which you see. Here you have a layer of cloud. Okay, understand it well. There is one place, AWS, Azure. This is where your application runs, this is where your data is present. So here your application will be live, you will have your data stored over here. Okay, and there will be one layer where you have multiple different application. Let's say you have one application for user. Let's say if I am going to break it down in a way, just give me a minute. So if I'm going to talk about, there is one application for the user, as I mentioned. This is what the application, you go to www dot something where you can access it, or the application. There can be one application for delivery boy. There is another application for, let's say, restaurant, as I mentioned. There can be admin, there can be development phase, etc., etc. There are multiple different applications running. Where those applications are running, everything is running on cloud. Everything is running here on cloud. Okay, now how developers they interact with cloud and manage all the versions, you have a layer of DevOps over here. Do you have a layer of DevOps? You have a tool like GitHub, you have a tool like Jira. Jira is used for project management. GitHub is used for CI/CD pipeline, version control. Okay, if now I want to push, let's say, version 3 of my application, how I'm going to do? Developer who has developed it, he will push it in GitHub. GitHub will be connected to cloud, and cloud will update it for the user. Okay. Next is, you will hear about Sentry. Sentry is for the error. Let's say in delivery app, there is some error. That information will be logged over here in cloud. Cloud is connected to Sentry, and Sentry will give the information to some developer. Developer will debug that, and then again push it through GitHub, push it to cloud, and cloud will update it. This is how it happens. If I talk from a very simple point of view, there are three layers. This is your DevOps layer, which helps you control all the versions, helps you control the errors, helps you control or manage the projects. That is here, that is going to be present. And then all of those will interact with the cloud where application is running. And this cloud with this, it's going to determine, okay, what version and what issues are coming over here in my different applications. Okay. So this is more interesting than what you might be hearing right now. As in you go inside of it, you will understand that how in-depth understanding you need, and how you kind of interact with each and everything over here. That will give you a lot of perspective that big companies like Facebook, Google, how they manage all the things. They have tons and tons of application, they have tons and tons of products. How they manage with everything, that is why they require thousands and thousands of developers at the end. For AlmaBetter, our size company, we require 5, 7, 8 developers that we manage everything. That's how it works. Every company now, they want to get their business online, whether a simple website, or you are going to go from a complicated application, you are a tech first company, your application complexity will become more and more complex, and you will need all these things and developers over here to take it forward. Okay. Now, this API, when I talked about what this APIs and all are, here you will have, let's say, developers interacting with GitHub or interacting with any other platform, interacting with databases over here. They are interacting with these all through APIs. How they will connect? Cloud is present somewhere else. How they are going to connect? They are going to connect through APIs. How this database, say, updated data will be given to delivery guy? Through API. So these lines which you see, these lines are nothing but there is something called as API. Now, how do you create it? How do you make it happen? All those things are part of your learning. You learn these things to ensure that, okay, I know how to use API. I know how to use, in fact, third party integrations. No company is going to develop everything from scratch. Right now, we are using this platform for conducting the live session, right? So that is one of the things which we are using at the end to ensure that all of you guys are joining the session. This is one of the third party which I am using. And like that, there will be lots and lots of third party we use and all the companies they use. So these are the things which you should know. Like payment gateway is one of them, right? Payment gateway, no company they work on payment gateway by their own. They integrate, let's say, CC Avenue, they integrate Razor Pay, like that, different platforms. So you should have that understanding over there. Okay. So I hope I am able to give you an understanding of the developers, what do they deal with. It's not straightforward. It's something which might feel complex when you started, but it's all about how do you take it forward. Okay. How do you take it forward from here? Now let's talk about few industry use cases. Like Rashid mentioned that he is working on solving some problem statement in his company. Now that is where I'm going to give you an understanding. Let's say in different industries, in different segments, what type of problem statements people generally they work on. Not limited to this, there are thousands other problem statement, thousand different developers they are working on. But let me give you an understanding. It's not just about website, it's not just about an application, it's much beyond that. There are a lot of different features inside any application or inside any website which developers they work on. Like if I talk about e-commerce industry, Amazon, Myntra, Misho, Flipkart, all these guys, right? They need online stores with a secure payment gateways. Who will be integrating these? Who will be working on seamless integration? Developers. Optimizing the website speed for seamless shopping experience. There are a lot of information shown by, just imagine when you go to Flipkart, right? And you see millions of products shown to you, how much data that is to show to you, and there is a network bandwidth, etc., etc. So what, how many products should load when you are looking at it first? Because you're not going to look at millions of them immediately. You will look at, let's say, 20, 30, 40, hundreds of them. After that, rest of the 100 will load. After that, next set of products will load when you keep on scrolling down. How that is configured, who is going to look at it? Again, developers, they work on it. You work on ensure mobile responsiveness for better user engagement. So the application what you use, or the website which you use on, when you go to, let's say, Google, you search any website, you will see that will look bit different compared to normal website when you search it on laptop. Who is going to ensure that responsiveness is there? Again, developers are going to work. Now, if I go to the next set of companies as OTT platforms, we have here Netflix, Sony Live. You guys now, I'm sure you must be using it. Video streaming platforms, very different from e-commerce. You have video streaming platforms, ensuring that you have the bit rate of 180. You can see, right, 720p, HD, etc., etc. That has a different complexity altogether to implement in the backend, right? You ensure that if live streaming is happening in, let's say, in Europe, and you are watching that match, football match or cricket match, right? So how that lag should be minimum. It should not be like after 10 minutes you there is a lag of 10 minutes of that live stream. Lot of people, they're working on ensuring that that seamless integration is there, and immediately that live interaction is happening. In fact, right here also, when you are putting something as a message, when you are hearing me out, when I'm doing certain things over there, immediately you can see on your laptop. How that is going to happen? All these CDNs for smooth streaming is something that is being optimized, and developers are working on these. Now, like that, I have other industries where you have, let's say, real-time order tracking, location-based services. Just imagine, you see that Google Maps shown on the application. It's something which is done by developer, and it's not that straightforward that it's going to happen just in 1 minute. It's not like that. Lot of things, lot of thought goes in solving those, showing the location based services, how I'm going to show the real time order tracking, how much time it will take to get delivered to you. All those things what is shown to you, it takes time to develop. And who is going to work on it? Again, as I mentioned, it's going to be from developer team, from the tech team who is going to work on it, like handling high scalability. Now, coming to fintech, if I look at the banks, or similar to bank, you have in finance industry like Yes Bank, Paytm, Echo, insurance industry, right? So here you have building banking and payment application. You have to see in banking how important it is to put a secure system overall there, right? So that fraud detection, securing and encryption protocols, those things are important. Your level, your way, your project, your workings will be bit different over there, and understanding which you require will be different. Okay. So these are the things which you work on. So you need to understand. Again, I'm going to mention this backbone of tech. People generally, they hear about AI, they hear about other things, and then they see that every company, they will just use AI and it will be solved. No, AI, to enable AI, you need a system which is present. You need a system where data is stored. You need an application where people are interacting with something. Then only rest of the things can get integrated. And that is why for the modern companies, tech or the development, software engineering, that is called as the backbone over here. Now, let's go to the next part, that is the impact of AI in software engineering, right? So until now, we have seen that what all use cases you will be working on, what all projects you will be working on, and how things are segregated, where things are lying. Now, with this AI revolution, how your software engineering as a overall domain has changed. We will talk more about it with Rashid at towards the end. But let me give you an understanding that the AI in software engineering, so be it in any role, it has been integrated. How does it help? It's not there to replace you. You can see the complexity of the system. There are too many things here and there which you need to integrate. But how AI will help you out, how here AI is going to be integrated in your overall system. So you should know that the code which you are writing, the errors which you are facing, there AI can help you debug that. Debugging is finding the error and then solving for those errors. It might look the error, it's going to be there immediately, you can figure it out. It's not like that. AI, when you go to chat gpt or any gen AI tool you are going to use, it will give you a lot of steps ki, okay, this is how you can solve, this is a better code to write, etc., etc. That's the first thing. So right now, the majority of the use cases developers are using is around this smart code creation. Quickly you can create the code, quickly you can solve the issues, and that is how AI is integrated in one of the way. Second is more personalized and human like software. Now, AI integration, if you do with your application, you can see software engineers, they should know how to integrate the AI applications in the uh, website or app wherever it is present, so that users can use it. Now, you don't need human present there to answer questions. A lot of things AI can answer, a lot of things AI can help out. That is where it is becoming more personalized, right? AI can be tuned up for each and every person individually. If you have millions of users, you cannot put lot of team in the backend so that they can help you. AI will be there who can help your query in a right manner, and then after that, if there is still some issue, then human can intervene over there. So it is becoming more personalized, and it has become something which is more human like software, where easily you can navigate here and there to figure out things. These are the two things. Again, the first, majority of the use cases coming around smarter code creation. Second is all the integration which you are doing in application for the user, it will be easier for them. Then super speed development, as your AI can give you certain codes. It's not going to give you full code overall, it will give you some chunk. You should know what to ask AI. It's not going to be like AI will do everything on its own. You have to ask what you want it to do, right? And if you have that understanding, you should have that understanding, then your development will be very, it will be done in a super speed manner. It means what it used to take, let's say 1 month, now it will take, let's say 1 or 2 weeks to almost solve that or make it available for the user. And for developers also, the last point which I'm trying to emphasize, like Rashid also mentioned, that he had to learn Angular JS, right? So a lot of documentations are present, but with AI, this learning has become faster. You don't need to learn everything right here, right now, and then you start it. You understand the base fundamentals, you understand the basic things, how things are connected and how everything will run. Once you have that understanding, anything changes, anything new which you need to learn, AI will easily help you with that. These are the four things, not replacing the developers, rather becoming something which will enhance your own capability and make you a person as a better developer, because codes it can do for human, for user, it will be more personalized. Your development will be faster, so that you work on multiple different problem statements are never going to go away. No company will say, no matter how big they are, that they are done with all things, they have solved everything, now I'm going to close it off. No. If your problem statement is getting solved in 2 weeks, there will be 50 more problem statement that will come in your next iteration. It's a never ending process. You want to make your system better and better. With AI, that has been fast enough. You need developers who can use it, but at the end, now problem statement will be solved much faster rate compared to earlier, right? So this is what the AI is doing in the field of software engineering. Now, if I go to the next part, where with AI revolution, how does it affect on the IT jobs? So now there is one side, as a software engineer, if you want to break into it, you need to understand that there is it's a phase of automation with intelligence, right? It's a phase of automation with intelligence. Automation, I mentioned that developers, they are using it, they are kind of ensuring that through different application, through different systems, there is some automation happening. Nobody has to move data from here to here, that can automatically come over here. That notification can be sent so that somebody can immediately look into it, so nobody has to message that person manually, right? Those kind of automation is happening. But now is the time for intelligence also that has come in. That as a developer, you should know that how that intelligence can be integrated, how that intelligence can be incorporated in the overall system. And that is nothing but integrating the AI, using the AI, and you will see that things will start turning up. So here, overall AI related jobs which we have seen in past almost 6 to 8 months, we have been tracking it. It has increased. AI development, data science, web development, software engineering, all these have enhanced, or all these requirements has increased. Of course, the requirement of what you need to learn in terms of skill, that has become bit little bit different, that has become advanced. But at the end of it, people need over there who can handle the tech, who can ensure that automation in with intelligence is happening. Your efficiency is getting going to be more better compared to the last, right? Automation you can do, some human has to still run the process, right? Somewhere it has to be involved. But when you bring in AI, then lot of things can be, automated. Lot of repetitive roles can be eliminated, like data entries, customer support, administrative functions. It's not going to be removed, it's not going to be like out of picture from jobs. Rather, it's going to be powered through AI, and it will be balanced. There will be second level or third level pay. Humans will come first one or two levels, or first one or two layers. AI will handle it. When you ask the question to any customer support, first AI will try to solve it, and then it will transfer to somebody who is available. That has been integrated. That's why these kind of roles are going in the back seat, and more tech roles are coming. And lastly, because of this AI, you should know that how do you integrate it. You need to reskill, you need to upskill yourself, not just with the regular things. You need to know the AI, you need to know the integration of these things in your overall learning process. And for us also, as an institute, for us, we have to be vigilant about, because we want to ensure that at the end, student who is going through this whole process, they are ready for the industry, they know the nuances of industry. And as an industry will update, as an industry will change, we also have to integrate things which will help you out at the end. And if I talk about now the careers and the growth, right? Because we have talked about basic what developers they work on, automation, efficiency, we user experience, etc., etc. when we started, right? After that, we talked about more getting into APIs. You have data management, you have application development, you have DevOps. Then we talked about the AI, how that is going to help out, right? How AI is integrated over there. Now coming to all these, and you can see in the last slide we talked about the demand of tech, right? Demand of tech person, that is there. the upskilling that is required, the skills that is required, that is bit different. How do you approach it? That has been enhanced, but the requirement is increasing and increasing over the years. Now, how your career will look like, right? How your career will look like. So it starts with, let's say, whenever you start your journey in the tech, you will mostly start with 90% of the cases, right? You will start with the front end development. The front end development who will develop the UI of anything, user interface of anything. Let's say you have any application, you have any application, how it will be shown to the user. Those guys are front end developer. Okay. Now, backend developers are those who manages the data. So in developer also, there is a journey which you are going to go through. Not everything you need to learn right now, and not everything you need to be expert at. When you start your journey, you need to be really good at front end development. Your chance of breaking into this field will be higher. So front end development, that's where you start your journey. As in you become more and more experienced, 2 3 years, you get the understanding of cloud, you get the understanding of backend engineering, data, how it will be managed, how APIs can be created in a much more efficient way, how systems should be designed, where data is stored from that table, from that place it will go over here, after that it will be shown to application. All that system which you see, that is being designed by someone, and that those guys are having some certain experience. So when you start it off front end, when you go more deeper, you get into back end, you go more into system design, and then as and you become more and more experienced, you start designing the large scale systems. So when I talk about large scale systems, these are where your millions and millions of people are using, let's say, uh, live recurring basis, right? You cannot design right now. When you're starting it off, you don't have the visibility what happens, let's say, when millions of people are immediately landing on your website or on your application, and how your application will behave. That is where the more experienced person is going to look at it. There is one very famous case of Hotstar. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. They had an issue that their app used to crash. Their app used to crash whenever, and that actually crashed in one of the cricket match. When Dhoni came into bat, app suddenly crashed because almost double users, almost 10 to 12 million people, they immediately joined the application and they start watching the match. So much of load in just within a second, it could not handle and it crashed. Then they started Project Hulk. So Project Hull ensure that if millions of people and quickly people are joining in, the app should not crash. That was one project which they were working on. Who is going to lead that? Who is going to decide that? Who is going to design that? That is going to be by somebody who has the experience when you get to the lead roles. And after that, it's something which where you carve out your own path, you become executive roles, and that's how it becomes. So just reiterating on things, make things very clear that I don't need to learn everything when I start. I need to focus on front end development first, because that is where your journey starts as a developer. As in you go more deeper, your it's not going to be like for lifelong you will be front end developer itself. You are going to upskill yourself. You are going to make sure that you have got the understanding of cloud, you have got the understanding of data management in a better experiential way. And then as in you go forward, you have seen certain some circumstances, you become more and more comfortable with system design, that too on a large scale. Okay. So this is what your journey looks like. Now there are other roles here. You can see DevOps engineer. You can see full stack developer, which Rashid is working on, right? So as a full stack developer, you kind of work on front end and back end both. It depends upon the companies and your own experience and your comfort. But most of the people who is going to be here and starting his journey is going to work as a front end developer itself. All right. So until now, tell me, guys, are you clear? Are you able to understand the nuances over here? Is it something which is making you bit more comfortable, excited, comfortable? You won't be able to be right now because lot of terminologies you have heard, but excitement is something which is going to be for you, because here, in case of tech, when you know this, it's going to be with you for lifelong. It's going to be with you as a, as a skill which very few people they get into. Very few people they are interested in this. And as in we move towards, years and years after, you will see that people, they require these understanding. And if you take this step, if you are even remotely interested in this, it should not matter that whether you are from non-tech, like you are from electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, or it does not matter which stream you have come from. If you want to get into this field, this will help you secure your career. This will help you secure your career for anything which you want to take it up next. Okay. All right. So we will go into the roadmap. How do we start it? How do we take it forward? And what all things you require from step one to when you get towards the end, right? How do you take it forward? Okay. So I'll explain through our curriculum also, because we have researched a lot. We have placed lot of students, lot of candidates, and we have seen what companies are asking, what they require our student to work on, and what are the fundamental things which everybody should know. Okay. So as somebody who is looking forward to start his journey or her journey, right, the first thing that should be there in your mind is the foundation of web development. Now, I'll quickly take you to the curriculum, and I'll also share this link in the chat so that you guys can go. It's free of cost. It's something which you can explore it by yourself also. So I'm going to show this particular link, and here I have shared this link in the chat. Please go through this, explore the curriculum by yourself. I'll explain this from the first module. There are certain modules. You can see 5 modules are here, what we have designed. And from here itself, you can see that how you are going to design your own journey. So the first thing is introduction to web development, right? When you are getting into this tech as a software engineer, you need to know that any web application, how do you develop it? And people generally, earlier we had also integrated, now we have updated with the time, that the first thing which you should know when you are starting it off is no code web design. You should get the feel of how any application looks like even before you start writing the code. There are certain, like WordPress, there are certain WordPress customization. How do you integrate e-commerce? That is where you should start. That is where you get the feel of the system. Okay, this is how it is managed, this is how it will look on website, and this is how it is made live. That first feeling when you get without even writing the code, you will understand the nuances of it, and then you get into the next part, that is HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. This will help you build the foundation of development. After you have done this, then you are going to get into the JavaScript programming, which helps you. JavaScript, all these topics and everything you guys will get when you click on that link. You can explore it. That might be logged to you if you have not enrolled, but at least you will know that what all topics you need to go through, right? It's something which is not just limited to this. If you are starting it off, this curriculum and the initial part is designed to ensure that when you are starting it off, what all things you need to learn and in what depth you need to go through, right? So once you have understood about, let's say, HTML, CSS, you need to know how that data, that login interaction with the website which you do, the search which you do, all those things, how that will come up. There is a JavaScript that is going to play over there. Just imagine you have a Wikipedia where you just look at a page. There you can create it using HTML, CSS. But let's say like Instagram, or you take any other website like Amazon, they need JavaScript because there are some interaction. You can search something, you can click on something, you can add to cart, you can pay. So all those things, how that is done, JavaScript is something which you have to learn. Okay. So once you have learned this, the first 1 or 2 months will go from here, where you are learning the fundamentals of web. Then after that, all of you guys, I will always suggest that modern front end development stack which you have to choose. You can choose modern stack, you can choose mean stack. There are multiple different stacks. So when I'm talking about different stacks over here, so there are, like, let's say modern stack, where you learn React, you learn Node.js, and everywhere you see JS, it means JavaScript based languages are there. You need to learn these things to overall develop an application, right? M is for MongoDB, which is for data management. Express.js and Node.js, these are for your APIs and the backend management. React.js is for the front end management. This is for front end. These two are for backend, and this is for the database management. Okay, so these are the things. Now there are multiple different stacks. There is a lamp also. Lamp is here PHP. Now very rarely people are using it. Spring Boot, where you are using Java, companies are using it. You can go ahead with this, but at the end of it you need to learn at least once so that you are comfortable with the whole system. So we cover, so from AlmaBetter, and we have seen the demand in the company. You have MERN stack. If you know, you can easily crack the interview. You can easily go ahead with the further things. Okay, so that's what your next step should be. Once you have understood the fundamentals of web, your next step is choosing one stack and then getting deeper into this. So here you have module 2, you have here Tailwind CSS, you have here DOM, regex. I'm not going to go into each and every terminologies over here, but you can see over here React.js. What all things you need to learn over here, you can see it, right? Then you have Next.js. So React.js on top, there is a Next.js, which makes your life even bit easier. So that is a new thing which people have started using now. So that also you need to understand, so that when you join the company, you should be comfortable with these. These are some things which are asked in interviews, right? So module 1 and module 2, this is something which will take you 4 months at least. 4 months at least, where you are making yourself comfortable with HTML, you're making yourself comfortable with CSS, you're making yourself comfortable with JavaScript, you're making yourself comfortable with React.js and the front end development stack, not the backend. Just let's say on React.js and how do you use APIs and everything over there. Okay, this will unlock your front end developer role for further for companies. Now, how do you start it? Always we suggest that you start with no code web design. You learn first these WordPress and everything, so that you are having the understanding of you don't need to write code every time. Not every company they would like to have a website which is like full application. If you know this will give you a good head start, easy to implement and easy to see the result, and then you get into coding. It will come very easy to you, and it will become very simple and interesting for you to take it forward. Otherwise you will think about, okay, I'm writing the code and code JavaScript I'm learning, when I will see the result, when it will become full-fledged thing. When you do the no code, you can clearly have one application over there created, and then you understand how HTML, CSS and everything, same thing you can achieve. Then after you are done with, let's say, front end development, the first two. Next is going to be your DSA, right? DSA, in interview it is asked, and for sure it is asked. Now it's something which you can choose with JavaScript also to do DSA, but our now recommendation is, very recently we have changed the curriculum also, that our recommendation is you go ahead with Python, because as in you go forward, AI is easy to integrate if you know Python. AI and data science or AI engineering, ML, machine learning, everything. If you want to get into that field, Python is the crucial language over there. So the design analysis of algorithms, that is something important for your interview. You can choose any language. Concepts are not going to be different. You can have sorting, searching, arrays and strings. All those can be done using any language, but Python is preferable, and companies, they are also kind of accepting this. If you know in Python, you will have an edge over anybody else. So you learn DSA of algorithms, or design analysis of algorithms using Python. This is mostly used for interview. In interview, this like DSA questions or the coding questions are asked, which are nothing but kind of test of your logic building, right? Maybe you will not write sorting, search, or backtracking or recursion, these type of things, linked list from scratch in any company in your application. But it is important to build your logic. It is important for company, when they ask the question, they understand okay, you have that logic building in place. Like you can think about in CAT exam, aptitude, verbal ability, all those things are asked. It's not like you do the exact thing in MBA. No, right? That is just to ensure that what your logic building is. Same thing goes over here as DSA. You need to know certain algorithms, you need to know certain logic so that your logic building in coding is pretty much clear. And then these are the things which you need. Until here you are ready for the, ready for the interview. Now backend development and practical software engineering with Microsoft Azure and AI, which is mentioned over here, you can go through these are some things which you should know to a certain level, right? That is what is included over here, so that as a fresher, when you go, you have the understanding of certain components. Maybe not be using these two, you will not be implementing these in your companies right away. After 1 or 2 years of experience, you will start getting into hands-on experience of those in companies. But the majority of the job will be done by these first three, where you have introduction to web development, front-end development, and DSA with Python. You will see that skill-wise you are ready for the interview. Like, this is for the master's program. When you go even further, right, you need to, what you need to learn to make yourself ready for lead roles, what you need to do to make yourself ready for the uh, roles for senior developers. There you need to have the cloud computing understanding, you need to have the understanding of DevOps in detail, you need to have the understanding of system design, low level, high level, you need to have the understanding of NoSQL cloud stores. So NoSQL, SQL, these are just the terminologies in data, you can go through it. This is something which comes when you have the base level understanding of foundation track over here, right? So go through this, look at the topics, and you will understand that this is how you need to move from the zero, starting from scratch to a certain level where you are comfortable taking your career to the next level. Okay. This is what is mentioned over here. Foundations of web development. As I mentioned, the first module, you start with no code, and then you learn about JavaScript, HTML, CSS, responsive design, etc. etc. You go into modern front end, month 3 to 4 months. So it will be month 1 to month 3, 4. It means fourth month you should know the React JS and Next.js. That's going to be your next part. Until here you are ready for mostly front end jobs. You take this again to make yourself comfortable with how industries work. You should know GitHub version control, CI/CD pipeline to a certain extent, how to deploy on cloud, that is also to a certain extent. As a fresher, you not need to know everything, but you need to know how that process works. When you once you go to company with experience, you will also be part of those processes. Backend engineering, Node.js, which I was talking about in module 4 and 5. And lastly, you have Express.js also part of your backend. So here, basic understanding of these. Now you are clearly ready for any interview and understanding the nuances around it. You will prepare for mock interviews or interviews. DSA with Python is something which is interesting. Here it is very important. And then ATS friendly resume, etc., etc., which you need to work on. Right. The first thing is skills. Skill as a tech, it takes time. It takes 6 to 8 months for somebody who has started. You can complete it within 6 months if you can give, let's say, 4 to 5 hours on a daily basis, at least 4 hours on a daily basis. It can be covered in 6 months. You can make yourself comfortable if you go through the same sequence which I have shared this link also in the chat. So in that sequence, if you go, it will take you 6 months overall to make yourself comfortable, and then you can go ahead and apply for jobs, apply for companies where they will take the process forward. Okay. All right. So before I go to role of AlmaBetter, I would like to bring Rashid again on stage. Let's hear from him how he designed his journey, how he started, where did he find difficulties, and then after that we'll talk. I'll talk briefly about role of AlmaBetter. How do we take it forward, and then we will we have covered all the things in this whole discussion. So Rashid, welcome back on stage.
Yes, sir.
Great. I hope you have enjoyed the session until now. I hope things were making sense, right? You must be feeling that people who have joined over here, they are listening to you. Just think about they are thinking to start this, right? So I want to ask you this one question, Rasid. So when you were thinking about starting this whole software engineering as a career, right, or developer as a career, what was your motivation? That's one. And then how did you plan your journey, where you got stuck, and how you finally land to the job, right? What did you do to stand out at the end?
After graduation, sir, I in graduation in a college I didn't have coding knowledge. Literally, I don't have a coding knowledge. After graduation only, I came to know about this full stack development. It's something a field we can where implement, we can create some applications. So once I started looking in YouTube's and everything, getting information like how we can build something. So from there, it's like having some curiosity, like to build something, some application. We can build something after getting tech
Right.
knowledge. So from there, the passion started, and started looking for a where I can get a curriculum. And everything is available on YouTube, but we want a proper curriculum so we can follow that and we can proceed. So for that, I joined AlmaBetter as a where I got a proper curriculum from AlmaBetter. So from there itself, I started everything, and I came to know about JavaScript, what is JavaScript, how it works from other languages, and after that, the main how I started before learning to the theory part, I came with a project part.
Mm.
How we are building projects and how from project learnings then I go to the theory part. So it's become easy for me to understand what actual, like for example, if we are learning about frameworks like React. So in React directly, if somebody go to learn about what is component, what is state, what is use state, what is hooks. So he will, I can't understand, but it will go through projects to the theory. He will understand. Oh, we are using here, so theory will become more understandable. So
Mhm.
like this, I started and I follow the curriculum. And once the I completed the 100% I curriculum. So after that, I give a ABCAT exam. It's a exam to conduct like you are ready for a job ready or not. So unfortunately, I cleared that exam, and after that, I came to the that placement batch where I got sessions like business communication sessions. It's very helpful for me to actually how we have to speak in interview. Previously,
Mm.
we have no idea to how actually we have to speak in interview. From there, I got a proper what in how, which manner we need to give answer, like star approach, those kind of things. And there is one session is DSA session, which is very helpful for clearing interviews. So after that, we have a mock interview, which test either you are job ready or not. So that also, if I recommend that if you are follow a proper curriculum, then you are easily able to crack the mock interview, and then the placement starts. So like this, my journey is there. Sir. Yeah.
So Rashid, where I'm sure during this whole journey, right, you might have found something which is difficult, something which you had to overcome, right? So what was those points, right? What were those tools where you felt थोड़ा difficult है ये, but then you overcome those? Because एक और मैं perspective which I want to actually ask over here is mostly around coding, right? Because in tech you have to be comfortable with coding. If you want to become a developer, it's something, coding is something which is going to be part and parcel of your life, right? So how you made yourself comfortable with coding?
Yes, sir. Previously, as I mentioned that I started newly. Like previously, I don't have any coding knowledge, so I started learning JavaScript in like whatever they are mentioned in the lectures.
Mm.
So I started
Mm.
learning basic things first, and started doing DSA, like data structures and
Mm.
algorithms. So basic, I started from basic questions, then I moved to the advanced question. So if we I think if we practice small questions first and think about like how it's working for array strings and everything, hash maps, how
Mhm.
it's working, so it becomes easy after certain. At that time it will not come to the mind how it's
Mhm.
working, but after some weeks you are getting, oh, like this it works. Oh, so that for me it start working like that only. And
Got it.
for projects, we need to see the tutorials first, how we need to actually the previously I don't know about the errors, how to fix these errors. and once the errors start coming in the projects, we are like, oh, what we can do at that time.
Yes.
So once we complete the one full stack project plan, that then we get a overall knowledge about, okay, these issues we have faced once. When if you going to create next project, then you might understand that, okay, if this error will come up, what next I have to take a step. So like this it will become a learning, and now we are working. Yeah.
Got it, got it. Very rightly mentioned, Rashid over here. So, in the curriculum, if I talk about the being comfortable with coding, right? People they make coding a very big thing, right? कि क्या होगा समझ पाएंगे या नहीं समझ पाएंगे कैसे चलेगा ये. But it is like learning any other thing. When you start it off, you will find the challenges. Now how you overcome that challenge, right? When you start getting errors, when you are getting error in projects, you need to keep your mind calm and see ki, I am going to solve this. It's not something which is out of the world and it cannot be solved. Every error you will see, you go and search on Google. You don't have to remember everything, right? That is also one very important point. You should be comfortable ki it's natural that initially you will get error, you will get stuck. All you need to do is go and search on Google, or we have the whole doubt support, you know it already, right, Rasid? So you have, let's say, live doubt support, you have instructors in class, you can interact with multiple different places where you can get your doubts resolved, right? So that is one thing that you have to first commit to yourself ki, "ठीक है, I want to become this." There will be hurdles that will come, there will be errors that will be coming in, and I am going to overcome those to finally get here. Now one thing which I want to emphasize, which you mentioned, right, Rasid, the project based learning, right? You need to start thinking from the project side, and then you will become comfortable with everything. In fact, in classes also you might be seeing that it's always discussed through projects. You see, let's take an example of this project and how do you break it down, how this component will be solved, because it's less about theory, more about the practical implementation, right? So if you look at that, then you will become more and more comfortable. Like say, if somebody who wants to, let's say, learn by themselves, what you need to do is take an example of one application, right? It can be to-do list, it can be as simple as a clock, and then see, do the back engineering, that how I'm going to achieve that, right? So for to create that, what all things I need to learn, to create that, what all things I need to do, right? As in you go forward, as in you be in that journey, you will see you have figured out all the different steps. HTML kya hai, CSS kya hai, JavaScript kya hai, React kya hai, and backend kya hai, everything you will start getting it. All one thing is very sure कि wherever you do, the structured learning is very important. Otherwise you will get stuck, right? कि एक होता क्या है कि यहाँ से अगर आप structured learning नहीं करते हो, तो then in that case you are going to like you will be demotivated, क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीजें हैं. It's not something, if any company is going to give you a certain amount of money and you have a high growth career, they will require or they will expect these skills from everyone, right? They will expect the skill from that particular candidate, and for that you need to spend some time, 6 to 8 months. You need to do a structured learning. Now everybody, you can go to that link, you can see what all topics you need. There are videos and all those things are there. So make yourself comfortable through projects. How do you start from a project, then take it forward accordingly. After that, you are going to be comfortable with, you should be comfortable with errors, bug, error, all these are part and parcel of developer, right? Daily basis, no matter how experienced you are going to be involved in that. And there are certain important skills which you should know. You must be comfortable with that, and you will see things are going to happen, right? Now, one part, Rajit, which you mentioned, right? It was about the communication, where it comes after the skill part. So when you are skilled enough, you need to get that confidence. You need to polish yourself, because skill है, but presentation कैसे करना है? How do you present your resume? How do you present yourself? How do you talk about your project, right? How do you make yourself comfortable or confident around new faces? ना? That is very important, because interviewer, you will get psyched. You will think about कि क्या बोलूंगा, क्या मेरा जो answer है वो सही है या नहीं. And for that you need to have that mock sessions. You need to have those last mile assistance also, if you remember, Rashid, right? That time also it was running, right? Last mile assistance before the interview, immediately that mock interview will happen, so that you are in a comfort zone, right? So those things are to ensure at the end that if you want to get into this field, the initial phase is going to be a little bit difficult, but at the end, if you go through a structure, if you go through daily basis, if you meet your goal, you will reach there. It's not something which is impossible, right? And that confidence I want everybody here to have, because if you want to get into tech, it's rewarding, right? It's something which is going to be, it's not going to be, redundant as a skill. More and more, years will come as in we go into the future. There will be certain upskilling that will be required, but this backbone of tech, it's always going to be there, right? And that is something which people have to understand, that this developers are the backbone of tech, right, Rashid?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Rasid, I'll just talk about the role of AlmaBetter further. We will again discuss with the questions. All of you guys, please start putting up your questions in Q&A or in the chat. We will take it up over here. Utilize this session to get your doubts resolved, to understand what you should be doing. In your case, everybody might have different cases, so please get your doubts resolved so that you can start progressing in your career if you want to take this, right? All right, Rasid, thank you so much. We will again come back and then talk about further things. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. So, guys, you have heard from Rashid how he has started this, right? How he, from where he started getting himself comfortable. He came from non-coding background, right? He came from electrical engineering, but he started his journey in software engineering, starting from JavaScript. So you start from there. Like I mentioned, the introduction of web development, we have changed, curriculum a bit. We have seen feedbacks from students. So from there, we have focused on JavaScript, but before that, we want to give you that understanding of how website works, how web application works. So we start with no code, then HTML, then JavaScript, and then after that, you get more insight into the project-based learning. And our curriculum also is designed in a way that every class, every topic which you get into, that is from the project side, right? That is discussed like what is the application, and then you deep dive into the theory side. Okay, so this is what our curriculum looks like. So if you go ahead with certification, there are two things: certification and masters. Further, we have admission counselor who will be answering your doubts, but I will more focus on the journey which you will go through. So you have seen all the modules, so it starts with all those front end DSA and everything. Majority of the focus which I am going to give you, and again we have electives also: blockchain development, Java programming. Those are the electives, or those are the supplementary courses. If you want to go through that, you can go through it. Otherwise, this part is good enough to start your journey, right? Now, if I'm going to talk about the placement side of it, how Alma Better thinks about it, how Alma Better has designed this whole placement process. So when you go through the key essential uh, skills, let's say when you go through the first three modules, we have changed our eligibility over here. So it's now one for first front end development. When you complete those modules, then after that you come into placements. Now there is ABCAT, which ensures, which gives us the understanding that you have revised things, you have understanding of all these things, you have done it honestly, so you clear that, and you will get ample opportunities over there to clear it. Once you come in placements, we focus on building your confidence, right? If there are a lot of students who get job on their own, once they complete the curriculum, they get the job on their own. But there are certain students who require the opportunities, who require the guidance, and for them we have a full-fledged curriculum where you get into first business communication. You should know how to communicate in interviews, you should know how to talk about your resume, and second part, you should know how to create the resume, right? After that, you should know how to answer questions which is asked in live, let's say coding questions. So a lot of times what will happen during the interview, interviewer will ask you question right there and ask you on screen itself, solve it. So how do you make yourself comfortable? Your mind will go blank initially. That happens, that when you start your journey in Almix, initial few sessions, you will see whenever question is asked, even if that is very simple question, it will become so tough because you have to write the code right in front of somebody. But you have to be comfortable with those. That is what we cover over there. After that, you get the placement opportunity from Alma Betters, and you get the opportunity around front end development, you get the opportunity around sometimes full stack developer also. So it's going to be depend upon your skill, and based on your skill, it's going to be something which you are going to get at the end. So there are mock interviews, there are leadership communication sessions, placement opportunity, etc., etc., which you get at the end. Now more detail of it, admission counselor will be joining over here. If you guys have any question, if you want to take your journey forward with Alma Better, totally on you, then you can have a conversation, you can see how you can take it forward. But one thing for sure which you are going to get here is that it's something in this particular session what our agenda was to ensure that it's not something which is going to be difficult, but it's not something which is going to be just easy also. Otherwise everybody will do it. If you want to take it forward, if you want to take a leap over here, if you want to pursue this career, you have to spend certain time with honesty, with consistency, and you will see yourself making it. You will see yourself towards the end getting offer from company you are working, and that is going to give a kickstart to your career. Now, to do that, make yourself very, very, very clear that you need to put up the skills, or the you need to put up or make yourself comfortable with the skills that are required for the industry. You cannot just do it randomly things and expect that everything will happen. You have to go through a structured process, you have to go through a structured understanding. You can go through the topics on your own, all those things are fine if you are comfortable, if you have somebody to guide. But Alma Better, we have been solving first job in tech domain, and you will see that effort which we put, the opportunity which we bring in, the hiring partners which we have, at the end of it we strive to solve this problem statement of giving opportunity, giving job opportunity and placements to students who are with Alma Better. And at the end of it, you make things happen. It's not going to be like it will be given to you on platter. At the end, opportunities are something which is given to you, but the skilling part is very, very important, and that's where you have this structured curriculum with robust doubt process and everything that comes in picture. Now, if you guys have any question, please put it in the chat, or please put it in the Q&A. If you have any doubt, anything which you feel, we will try to answer those. We will start. Meanwhile, we will start with few questions which I have got personally over here. Hey Rashid, welcome back. Now this is the last section, and here we will try to answer few questions which are asked by students. So the first question which I want to which lot of people they have, right? Is it the right choice, okay, for a non-tech person to get into tech? Or what is going to be challenges you have discussed, right? Errors, and you have to be consistent. But is this the right choice? What do you think?
Sir, the career perspective, if I think about, it's something like, don't if any person think like, it's like something different perspective, like it has different mind for these jobs like full stack developer, software engineers. So for them it's like from my point of view it's no. But if you have a passion of coding, if you have a passion of building something, and you can solve the problems for thousands of people, millions of people, so then you will going to enjoy this career.
Mm.
So for that point of view, I started. I am also a electrical engineer, but why I switched to this domain, the reason is I have a mindset like I can build something, I can solve some problems for millions of people. So it will not become a job for you, it become a passion. You can enjoy with your work. So my perspective is that.
And very rightly mentioned over here, and this I always tell people that don't go with the all these buzzwords. Okay, right now this is right now in demand, and I'm going to pursue that. Whatever you do, like even if you are an artist, you will become successful if you have that passion, right? So it's all about that. If you want to get into this field, make sure that you have that passion to build something which lot of millions and millions of people are going to use. And if you look from this perspective, no matter what background you are coming from, you will make it, right? That is what at the end it will happen. Now, Rasid, people generally they have also the question around, or the confusion around, will AI be taking my job, right? With AI, how this whole role is it going to be like? And in news also you will see that developers they are less in demand. They are not going to be like AI will replace their job. What's your thought around it? What's your take?
Yes, sir. what I feel and what I see in currently the company which I'm working on, that like if you are thinking like AI will going to replace you, it's like
Hmm.
not. AI will, you can make use of AI to automate your work. Means you can, if you are taking 10 hours of work, it will automate to 2 hours or 1 hour of work. And now the time is for AI, so we need to make use of AI. And if
Hmm.
you are able to make use of AI and you can make and you can build a product using AI, then
Hmm.
you think like it will be irreplaceable for you. If you know to use AI and make a product, then you will be irreplaceable for anyone. Those who
Come.
are not using AI, yeah.
Great, great, great. That is how it is. It's not going to replace. Rather, you have to understand how to use it, right? You have to understand how to use it in right place, and you will see that you will be irreplaceable. Because people generally, they think that I'm not going to upskill myself. Whatever I'm doing right now, if you are comfortable with status quo and not willing to upskill, then definitely you will replace. Right? You will get replaced. Now, one question is, can I speak Hindi during the course? Okay, so not talking about the course, Rashid, but during the interview process or during the curriculum also, how difficult it was to cope up with the curriculum in terms of the language, and how difficult it was for you to cope up at the end for the interview.
Actually, whatever opportunities till now I get for interviews, so many interviews are in conducted in English only. If you are thinking about south side, actually right now the current company in which I am working, it's in Chennai based.
Mm.
So mostly I think you have to know about Tamil, or either you will have to do it in English. So, for my perspective, you need to know English conversation. So it will be better for everyone. So from anywhere you can have a common language, so you can
Yeah.
discuss with everything. Yeah. So
Right.
English language is must, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing is, people generally they are very uncomfortable about it. Understand one very simple thing, Ashish, for you specifically. I'm saying, right? You will be able to understand English. I'm sure overall everybody here they are able to understand English, but they find it difficult to speak. Right? Understanding to सबको है. Now जब बोलने का time आता है ना, when you speak in English, it's all about practice, and you have to first think in a manner कि मैं जब start करूंगा तो मेरे को खुद में साई feel नहीं होना चाहिए. Because at one point you have to start initial few days, you might be going here and there, and that is why we have business communication sessions, and that is why now we have started the communication workshops also, right? So every day now, Monday to Friday, some kind of communication workshop goes on, and that is to ensure that you need to understand this. It's like any other language, your native language, why you are comfortable, or in Hindi why you are comfortable, because you speak that regularly. So start shifting towards little bit English, and you will see it's a even easier language than English, Hindi or any other language. It's just about make yourself comfortable, practice it, right? And forget about the sinus. ठीक है? वो जो एक सेम है ना कि अरे क्या होगा, मैं बोलूंगा बोलेगा इसको इंग्लिश नहीं आता है, इससे पहले बाहर निकल जाओ. नो बडी हियर एक्सपेक्टिंग एकदम नेटिव स्पीकर लाइक somebody like British. कोई नहीं चाहता है. Even I'm not that good at English. Rashid, you are also not that good at English, right? But we know how to communicate, we know how to present the idea in English. And for that, first you need to make yourself comfortable कि I will practice. Initially it might be difficult, you might not be able to think, but later on it will become comfortable at the end, right? And I have seen, trust me, I have seen people who were very very weak, uncomfortable, but with those sessions, with practice, they become easy, they are able to crack the interview, right? So it's as simple as that, आशीष. इसको कभी एक क्राइटेरिया मत बना लीजिए कि मेरे को हिंदी में ही होगा तभी मैं कुछ करूंगा. Otherwise, what will happen in interview, in companies, you will start facing the issue. Okay, so make yourself little bit relaxed, make yourself kind of accepting this fact कि right now I don't I'm not comfortable in speaking English. So let me start practicing it, join the workshops, attend the business communication sessions, and it will be as simple as any other language. You will make yourself comfortable. And the level of English that is required, it's not like you need to know a lot of things. It's just that how well you are able to communicate your thought process. Right. All right, Rashid, I think we have discussed most majority of the pointers. Thank you so much for taking out of your time. And everybody, please give a quick, thumbs up for Rashid for taking out his time on weekends to discuss with you guys, to share his understanding, share his experience. Thank you so much, Rashid. And I'm sure a lot of guys here, lot of uh, people, students who have joined, they will find it, interesting to take their career forward. Thank you so much, Rashid. Any last words, anything which you would like to mention to our students?
Thank you, sir, for having me here. And yeah, it's a great learning from AlmaBetter. I always mention whoever talks to me about it's better to join or not. So I always mention that like if if I can do, if I am not from a coding background, so anybody can do. I think like that. Okay, so we don't need to think about whether I to join or not. Only we need to, if I'm joining the Elma Better, we need to follow the curriculum. At the end, you will end it with a good job. What my perspective is. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rashid. Thank you so much for taking out of your time. You can now go and enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. So this was Rashid. He shared his journey. Now it's totally on you, right? It's totally on you. How do you want to take it forward, and how do you look at things? Things are not going to be impossible. Things are not going to be tough. Things are not going to be something where, uh, you know, it's impossible thing to do. Everything has a starting point, and over the time, daily basis, if you improve yourself, you will reach. One thing which you need to keep in mind, right? When you are choosing any career, you need to be honest with it. You need to be consistent about it. And once you do that, you will see everything will start happening. Okay, great. All right. So now, guys, this is where we will invite Srinivas, Senior Admission Counselor. He will be talking about certain nuances in curriculum. How do you take it forward? If anybody here who is interested in getting their doubts resolved, interested in talking to Srinivasan and understanding things in a much more deeper level, if you want to associate with Alma Better, I'm sure it's going to be a fruitful journey for you, and it's going to be really, really interesting career choice for you guys. Thank you so much, Srinivasan. Over to
Thank
you.
you, thank you
Stage
so
is
much.
yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much. And guys, enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much, everyone. Please continue having discussion with Srinivas. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, sir. Yeah, have a great.
You too.
Yeah, so hi guys, my name is Srinivas. I'm currently working with AlmaBetter as a senior course advisor, or you can consider it as a counselor. So basically, what exactly is the objective now? Why I'm going to discuss all these scenarios with you? Because what I'm going to do, first of all, I'll just give the objective about that, or the you can consider. Okay. So first of all, I'll just give a brief idea like how our student dashboard portal works. Okay, after completing the admission procedure, what sort of journey that you're going to do, okay, how you are going to connect with your mentors, okay, who is the person who is going to clear your doubts while completing the program, or while completing the modules, sub modules, or chapters, or you can consider your lessons as well. Okay, so I'll just represent my screen first of all. Okay, I'll just represent my screen. I'll just show you like how Alma Beta student dashboard portal works. Okay, where you will able to see all your class, upcoming class, and you will able to see your recordings. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to represent my screen. Okay, so basically, if you guys are having any queries or questions about this particular program, or if you feel or whatever the things that I'm talking about now and you are not able to understand, you can just put your questions in the chat box. Okay, I'll make sure that I'm going to answer all these questions on the queries that you are having about this particular program. Okay, I'm just going to represent my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to explain step by step how the student dashboard works. Okay, then accordingly you guys can ask me all your questions for you. Like, I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Yeah. So, see, basically how the things gonna work. So this is how once you enroll in the particular program, okay. So you will able to see the student dashboard. Okay, this is how the student dashboard is going to look like. So I'll just help you like step by step, like where you will able to see all the course related content or your live class lectures, timings, and everything about this particular program. Okay. So this is how our homepage looks like. Okay. So in first one, you'll be able to see like in there are two courses basically we offers. One we offers a certification course of 6 months into the software engineering with integrated with the AI, and when we offer a cloud computing, it's a master's degree from the European University. So these are the two programs that we are offering from the AlmaBetter. Okay, now basically if I'll talk, okay, so in the home page you will able to see this is how the practice coding assessment is gonna work. Okay, you will able to see all sort of questions asked by these different sort of MNC companies in the interviews. So you will able to see like what sort of coding assessments is going to be there from the company side. Okay, then you are going to we are from our side we are going to offer you the practice quiz assessment as well. Okay, again this is from different MNC companies from different sectors. If I talk HSBC or PTM, these are from the different finance sectors. Then this is how the thing gonna work once you complete the program or once you complete your modules. Okay, because in the live lectures you are going to clear your theoretical understanding about what is front end development, what is back end development, what is DSA, what is Python programming language, okay, what is Node.js, React.js, and all this stuff, right? But until and unless you are not to practice it, so basically this thing is not gonna easy for you. Okay, so here moreover what exactly we are going to do, because our classes will be only 3 days in a week. It will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, 3 days in a week our classes will be there. Okay, most probably one off one class extra that also we are going to take, depends on the syllabus, how much speed the class is going on, and what sort of modules or lectures that our mentors has completed so far. Okay, so once you complete your first module, then we are going to assign you 2 to 3 projects. Okay, so you will able to see all the projects in the button itself. Okay, you will able to see the projects will be in terms of the back end, it's will be in the front end from different companies. Again, it's from the e-commerce sectors, you can consider it from book my shows and all this stuff. Okay, then there will be some supplementary courses. So see, now as a counselor I can say the supplementary courses is definitely going to help you. Okay, let's suppose if you are a beginner, okay, and if you are currently not working and if you feel you are having 24/7 in your hand, okay, you wanted to put some extra efforts and you want to learn, you can just go through the supplementary courses. Again, it's a free of cost courses. There will be these supplementary courses, it depends on the different scenarios. Okay, it will be sort of, you can say, base subjects that we are going to cover in the supplementary courses. So you will get the recordings. This will not be the live lectures, supplementary courses. Okay, these are the already recorded lectures. Okay, this will be approximate a duration of 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours. Okay, then accordingly as per your free schedule, you guys can watch it. You can watch it from the mobile or you can watch it from the laptop as well. It's up to you. Now this is how basically this is the people who is basically going to take your, or you can consider your lectures, or these are the industry experts who are carrying more than 10 years of work experience in the same domain. Okay, so there is a person who is a Mukesh Omani, who is a basically again a assistant professor in University of Heaven. You can check the person who is Neeraj Sharma. You can go through their LinkedIn profiles as well. He's already working as a software engineer at Microsoft. There is a one person who is Jyotimay Dev. He's currently working in the Apple as a front-end developer. Okay, so why we are offering, why we are asking this industry expert to take your sessions, reason because see, these are the people who is currently having the experience. They know what exactly is trending into the market. Okay, then accordingly they are going to teach you only those things which is more beneficial for you. Okay, in terms of learning all these things in a small duration. Okay, so now this is how you will able to see all these things in your first homepage. Okay, now in the homepage in right hand side, if you go down, you will be able to see the help option. So help option is something where if you are having any queries or questions, you can directly raise. You just simply click it. There will be a live support. Live support means there will be a person you can connect with him one on one. Okay. Or else, if you are working professional, if you feel you are having a specific time, okay, you can raise your ticket directly from our the student dashboard portal. And again, like their AI chatbot is also there. So you are having all these multiple options. Again, we are going to create a WhatsApp group also. Okay, you can ask your queries to your mentors. You can ask your queries to your basically colleagues, or you can say your batchmates as well. Okay, and again there will be a community channel. You can ask your question in the community channel as well. Okay, so this is how you are going to ask your queries to your questions from these different scenarios. Any students is having any sort of question, they can ask. Okay, second one, now this is the learn. Now how you are, see, this is the online course. Now how you are going to basically evaluate you, or you can check like how many projects they have completed, what is my progress. Okay, so this is how you are going to see your progress in this particular scenario that you can consider it's a percentage. So once you complete your first module, okay, you will able to see all your projects over there. Okay, now you can check in first module they have designed in a such a way that no one should feel the burden just because of these models. Okay, so everyone or everything they are going to start basically from the basics, from the zero they are going to start. Okay, even though the people who is coming from non-technical background or technical background, that doesn't matter. So you can check in first module there are seven different chapters. Okay, so again we have segregated the chapters into the lessons. Okay, so this are the people who is just starting their career or who just started their career or into the particular web development they want to start. So they will get the objective in terms of they will get to know how you are going to start it, what are the basic small topics are there, so it will be easy for you to understand. Accordingly you can prepare your mindset and you can ask your queries or questions to your mentors. Now this is how the first module you are going to learn. Once you complete all these chapters, okay, in the end you will able to see the capstone project. Okay, so I told you, right, after completing all first module we are going to assign you bare minimum 3 to 4 projects that you can consider. Okay, and again once you complete this module you need to complete this, so that you will get a better understanding in this time period of 1 month what are the things that you have understood. Okay, second thing is that where you stand in the competition. Okay, all these things that you can evaluate on your own. Okay, so through these projects, you will get an exposure. Exposure means how you are going to get the exposure. See, now most of the people who are coming from the engineering background, right? Most of the things what we do in the last year of your engineering, we basically do a major project, right? So in that major project, there will be a group of 3 to 4 people, right? And we do this project just for the marks. We don't do it like, okay, you wanted to get some sort of industry exposure, right? Most of the times people copy paste it from Google and all. Okay, but here this capstone project will be the live project. This is a basically a MNC company's projects you will get. So before joining any company as a front end developer or the back end developer, as a candidate or as a person or as an employee, you will get to know what are the roles and responsibilities that you need to handle once you get assigned in some sort of particular projects from your organization. So that is the reason you are getting an exposure, or you can consider it as an experience as well throughout the capstone project. So accordingly, after completing every module, okay, you will able to see all these projects, capstone projects, what is the problem statement, what is the categories and all. So this is how they have designed this curriculum in a such a way that it will be more beneficial for you to understand and it will be easy grasp about. Now you can check in second module again, like all the chapters. Again, after every chapters there is some lessons that you are going to conduct. Okay, then after completing 1 or 2 chapters, might the teacher or the mentors are going to conduct your one test. Okay, it's sort of quiz assessment, so you will able to understand like what are the mistakes that you are making throughout this learning period. Okay, then accordingly again like step by step that you are going to conduct. Again the projects are they are going to mention all that. Okay, so this is you are able to see in the learn chart. Now when we talk about the classroom part, so how the classroom part is going to work. So now you can see the batch is about to start on our 27th of this particular June. Okay, after 5 to 6 days, the batch is going to start now. So this is the first induction class from our end that we are going to provide you. Okay, so induction class will be again like 1 hour of induction session where you will get a familiar with this your batchmates. You will able to see like the WhatsApp group who are your batchmates and all. You can have a conversation with them. Okay, so this person Shashank, he's going to give a brief idea for next 6 months if you are going with the certification program for next 6 months how your basically journey is going to look like, how what are the things that you are going to do. Okay, if you are going with the 12 months of program, again they are going to discuss about the same part in different ways. Okay, upcoming means your live class schedule. Okay, and completed means your all recordings. Okay, because here we only don't offer online courses or we don't only offer online training. Okay, after completing each and every live class you guys will get the recordings as well. Reason being because see, this is 2.5 of lecture. There might be a probabilities as a working professional or a human being. Most of the times we will not able to attend the live classes. Okay. So in that case, if you are not able to attend the live class, you can go and you can watch the recording. So that is the reason we don't have any attendance criteria as such. If you are okay to join live class, you can join the live class only using the student dashboard. Okay. And if you wanted to watch the recordings, just about the beside this upcoming, there is a completed section you will able to see, because as of now it's not started yet, so you will not able to see the recorded classes here. But yeah, once you complete the lecture within 24 hours they are going to upload the recordings as well in this particular session. You will able to see all the recordings. So okay, now when we talk about this particular practice session. Okay, so in the practice sessions if I'll talk, you will able to see all these things. Okay, which is already seen in home page, we already seen it, like, but it's a in just small way you'll able to see. But this is a brief way. If you click on the practice session, now you will able to see like what sort of questions basically or the problem statement asked in the interviews from the different companies. Okay, you will able to see like this is the first problem statement which is asked by the HSBC bank, which is again asked by the Meta, which is again a Facebook. Okay, and that's why. Then again, like clam mixtures, again the problem statement is that you will able to see like from which particular company this question has been asked in different scenarios. Okay, you'll able to see, and accordingly you can practice through this particular dashboard itself. Okay, you will get a number of problem statements from our side. You can do more practice. Again, it's not will be from the hard level. You can start with the easy, then you can move ahead with this medium, and then you can move ahead with this hard. Now it's up to you. If you already someone is a working professional and you just wanted to put some more efforts, you can directly start with the medium and you can go with the hard level. Okay, now when I was talking about the supplementary courses, so see, they have uploaded more than 17 to 18 supplementary courses for the people who just wanted to, who just starting their career into the web development part. Okay, you need a little bit of more extra effort that you wanted to put, you can just go through this particular lectures. Again, it's a free of cost, you don't need to pay a single rupee. You can watch all these things. Okay, now when we talk about the coding assessment, so this is very important part for all the web developers who just wanted to start their journey specifically into the software engineering or the web development scenarios. Okay, so you'll able to see like these are the questions asked by the different companies. Okay, so this is a mock test that you can consider, or a mock practice session that you will able to see. They are going to ask you similar questions. They are not going to ask you questions which is out of the syllabus or something like that. They are going to ask you the similar questions in your interview. So you will able to see like what sort of questions are there. Okay, how you are going to tackle it, what sort of problem statements and all this stuff. You will able to see once you enroll in the program. We are going to provide you all the access. So on daily basis, you can see, you can practice more and more so that you can get good and hands-on experience on all these particular scenarios. Okay, like projects, we have already discussed basically in the projects part as well. Like after completing each and every module, they are going to assign you 2 to 3 projects. Okay, and then accordingly you can check there are projects from different companies, from BookMyShow, YouTube, Zomato. Okay, then there will be a projects from different sectors like e-commerce sectors if I'll talk. Okay, so this is how you will able to see all your projects. Okay, even they are going to mention from which from this particular scenario what are the things that are going to, you people are going to do. Okay, so this is how the things gonna work in terms of projects. Now, while completing the projects, because see, I told you, right, in engineering, most of the people might have done. In non-tech degree, people have not done might these particular projects. But see, now this is the projects you are going to do individually. Because see, whenever you are going to sit for the interviews, the person or the interview is not going to ask you a question to 3 to 4 projects simultaneously. He's going to take an interview one time at a time. Okay, one person. So he's going to ask all your questions about these projects. So you should have a brief understanding what are the basically steps that you have taken in this particular projects. What are the your insight? What are the extra modules that you have completed in this particular scenario? So it will be more easy for you to explain your projects to your interview. Okay. Now when we talk about this career part, okay, so this is career part is all about your 100% job guarantee. Okay, because in AlmaBetter we offer a students a 100% job guarantee from our side. Okay, so what is the 100% job guarantee means? See, whenever the institute is going to take the guarantee about your job, that means they are also going to make sure that our candidate is having all proper the skill set. Okay, so here if you are even going with the 6 months of certification program or 12 months of degree program, master's degree in cloud computing, here you don't need to wait for 6 months or 12 months to get into the placement part. Okay, if you wanted to offer the 100% job guarantee, then there is the first step that you need to complete is that first you need to complete first 3 modules. Once you complete the 3 modules, then we are going to conduct your own exam, that is the ABCAT exam, AlmaBetter Comprehensive Assessment Test. Okay, so here basically why we are taking this particular test, because see, this is the online course. Most of the times we also need to evaluate our students, like what are the students are, what are their capabilities and all. Okay, so as a students you will able to see like what are the things are there. Okay, so once you complete your 3 modules, you will able to easily understand like what is the exam structure and all. So for people who is going to do the certification course, the minimum eligibility criteria to get into this particular placement pool is you need to score at least 60% and above in this ABCAT exam. That is a very mandatory part. In certification, people will get 5 attempts. Okay. Once you clear the 5 attempts, then there will be 1.5 months of specific training for your placement. And then accordingly, we are going to schedule your placement with different companies. This is how the things gonna work here when you talk about the 100% job guarantee. For the masters, there is no as such as the criteria of you only need to complete it into 5 attempts. You will get a number of attempts because your duration is 12 months. So you guys can consider decide as per your experience that you wanted to go with certification or you wanted to go ahead with this master's program. Okay, so this is how basically your placement is going to start. Okay, in this 1.5 month of preparation, what are the things that we are going to do from our side as a placement team? Okay, so first of all, we are going to start helping you to build your resumes. Okay, we are going to help you to understand like how you are going to segregate your projects, how you need to segregate your projects, what are the projects, what are the skill set, or what are the key points that you need to mention in your resume, that your resume should get selected in a easy way. Okay. Once you complete the resume building session, then we are going to help you with the LinkedIn profile upgradation. We are going to help you with the Twitter profile upgradation and all this stuff. Okay. Once you complete the scenario, then here the main part works in this 1.5 month of duration of the training. We are going to start conducting your bare minimum 20 to 30 or 30 to 40 mock interviews from our side. First, we are going to make sure, yes, we are our candidate is fruitful. Okay. And we are, once we feel the confident, and once the candidate feel confident, then we are going to schedule your interviews. So 30 to 40 mock interviews we are going to analyze. We are going to first conduct, and we are going to analyze what are the mistakes these candidates are making in the interview. Okay. Accordingly, you will get the feedback from this particular placement team. Again, you can prepare, again, you can come back, again, you can do the interviews. Okay. Once you feel candidates, see, because now you need to understand there is a lot of competition in the market as of now, right? Even though there are 10 vacancies, 100 and 100 people are applying for this, right? Now, basically, here with the half of knowledge, you cannot crack the interview. You should have the fully knowledge about this web development domain. Okay. So that is the reason with the mock interviews, as a learner or as a employee or as a candidate, you will be able to understand what are the mistakes as a learner or as a person I'm going to do in this particular interviews. Okay. So that we don't want you to make the same mistakes in your final interviews as of now. Okay. So this is how you are going to do this, your Almax selections around. You will be able to see all your project. Once it's 100%, that means you are eligible for this Almax. Okay. You need to give the exam. Okay. Once you clear the exam with the 60% and above, then you are going to get this 1.5 months of specific training only for your placement. Okay. Then how you are going to do this mentorship session. So let's suppose if one time, like in our career, like sometimes we feel you need sort of guidance, right? So yes, in the mentorship session, you can directly click. Okay, there are different. If you want to do guidance regarding your learning part, or if you need a guidance regarding your career part, you can simply click. Let's suppose if you need a guidance about your projects. Okay, so you can simply click here. You click on next. So there are three different live time slots that you can choose. Okay, let's suppose if you are a working professional, so you can choose basically a different time slots. Okay, you can click here. You can add your date whenever, on which particular date. Let's suppose the working professionals who are free on Saturday and Sunday, so they can just basically check like on which particular slots that are available. Accordingly, you can confirm. Then accordingly, the team will connect with you over a Google Meet and they will clarify your doubt. Now, the last and more beautiful part of this particular student dashboard portal is that, okay, this is a job portal. Okay, so this access every students will get from first day itself. Okay, so what is the reason that we are giving you the job portal access from first day itself? Because reason being, because we don't want our learner to get job ready after 6 months or 7 months. Okay, we want them to get basically a focus about what are the company's requirements, what are the company's requirement as of now into market, what are the skill set they required. Okay, so in the job portal from first onwards, you will able to see all the locations that you have mentioned over here. Okay, if you are particularly looking for any sort of location, you can just click simply. Currently I'm sitting in the Bangalore, so I'll just click on Bangalore location. Okay, now in the Bangalore location, once you click, okay, you can check like you need a remote job, you need a hybrid job, or you need an on-site job. Accordingly, you can check in which particular domain. Now the engineering students who just wanted to start their career, okay, if they feel they wanted a permanent job, they can go ahead with a permanent job. Or the people who wanted to go ahead with the internship job, okay, they can click on internship, and they will, and you guys will able to see everything in the single dashboard itself. Okay, then accordingly you will able to see this, what are the job rules are available in the market. Then accordingly it will be more easy for you to understand. You will able to understand what are the GDs are there, what is the designation is the company is ready to offer. Okay, in the JD, what are the skill set they required. Okay, just give me a second, let it get brief, so you guys will able to see the job openings as of now. Yeah, now see, these are the different job roles. Okay, on daily basis we are going to upload what are the vacancies are coming into the market. Okay, you will able to see guys like what are the designation that company is ready to offer. Okay, let's suppose if someone is planning for the full stack developer, okay, they will basically will put all their information over here. Okay, what will be your designation. Okay, what are the in the JD, you will, they are going to mention the location as well, the work type, it's a permanent job, it's a on type job, it's a full work from home job, everything they're going to mention. Okay, now you can simply click on this particular JD. So in the job description, you'll able to see what are the company's requirement. Okay, what the particular person should have the knowledge about. Okay, what are the roles and responsibilities or responsibilities that you're going to handle, what are the companies are ready to offer you, okay, and what are the skill set they require from the candidate. Okay, so this is not about only one company. Okay, there are the multiple companies you will able to see on daily basis. Okay, then accordingly you can check what are the things that you need to do. Okay, now this is Amazon from work from home business. So there are different companies, different parameters. There are every company is having different expectations, different designation. Now it's up to you, like how you guys are going to understand and how you are going to, where you wanted to start your career in terms of the particular scenarios. Okay, so I hope like I have cleared your doubts. Now I'm going to stop representing my screen, so now I'm going to answer all your questions for you. Okay, yeah, so now you guys can ask all your questions over here. Okay, even though what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share one link over here. Okay, so if you guys wanted to connect with me over a call, or you need a little bit more understanding or more guidance from mine, okay, you can simply fill this application. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my WhatsApp number. This is my personal number also. Okay, if you guys wanted to have a conversation one on one, then you guys can directly connect with me, okay, over my contact number. Okay, so I'm just drop you the first link will be for this particular scenario, where if you wanted to raise a query, okay, you can directly raise it. Or this is my contact number, I'll put all these details over here. Okay, you can directly text me or WhatsApp. Okay, and then accordingly I can guide you, like what are the things that, or what are the necessary steps as a counselor, or if you need a sort of career guidance, I can help you, like what sort of pathway that you guys should have. Okay, so I hope everything is clear for you. Any questions or queries, guys, you can just drop all these questions in the chat bar itself, so I'll be able to help you with that part. Yeah. One question is from Ashish Rana. I have seen like two or three times this is put. Okay. So see Ashish, though the main thing is that you need to understand here. Okay. The classes will be totally in English. Okay. If you wanted to talk in Hindi, yes, you can talk. Okay. Most of the people basically is definitely going to understand what exactly is the context that you are talking to us. Okay. Then accordingly, if they want, okay, they definitely you can communicate them in the Hindi as well. That's not an issue. We need to put your question here. You can talk, but see, our lectures is going to happen only in the English. Okay. If we are talking to our mentors and all, in that particular case, the scenarios will be different. Yeah, but you can talk. Like we are not having any sort of problem with that particular scenario. You can talk to your mentors in the language as well. Yes. Any questions, queries, guys, that before we wrap up this particular webinar? Any questions or queries you feel you're not understood, you can just put your all queries over here. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. Okay. If you guys having any queries, questions, I already drop you the my number, contact number over in the particular chat bar. Okay, as well as I have dropped you the link. You can just guide copy paste. Okay, and you can just fill all your details. Our team will connect with you. They will help you to clear all your doubts for you. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.